What's going on, everyone? Alex De Silva, Happy as Larry Group. I hope you're well. I hope you've had a lovely weekend. I wanted to talk to you about being a giver or a taker. I think in life we can either be one or the other, or we can be both. And what's the difference? I guess a taker is somebody who can take advantage of people when they're shown something, or they're all about themselves, and it's all about taking. You know, what can I get from this person? What can I get from this situation? What can I get from this job? How much can I take from this person? How much money can I receive for doing this job? You know, the examples are endless. And a giver is somebody who is the complete opposite. You know, they're willing to give you all of these things, you know, to make sure that you are okay. You know, they're willing to give you the job. They're willing to give you, you know, the opportunity. They're willing to give you a roof over your head. They're willing to give you knowledge. They're willing to give you power. They're willing to give you everything. And I wanted to talk about it because, you know, sometimes I struggle with the two, you know, because I love to absorb knowledge and I love to learn from other people. But for me, I used to be a taker. You know, when I was in a really dark time and I was really struggling in my life, you know, I was very selfish, but not from a healthy perspective. You know, I was the selfish where I was always taking from everybody. I was taking people's peace of mind. You know, I was taking their love, I was taking their care, I was taking their money, I was taking pretty much everything, you know, everything that was on offer, because I didn't feel as though I was good enough, or although I was worth it, although I was worthy. And I just kept taking and taking and taking because I wanted what those people had, but I was doing it in a completely wrong way, very selfishly and very careless. And I started to realize, even kind of just recently, and today it kind of came up for me. I'm doing my video slightly later than usual, not because I've been struggling with what to say, but I wanted to talk about the right things, and I wanted to make sure that everything that I talk about, you know, is me giving you a piece of knowledge, something that you can take away from this, that you can apply to your life. And that's where I flipped, you know, that's where I changed. You know, my mindset, I went from being a taker to being able to be a giver, and to really give back, you know, and that's what I try to do now, you know, because I've realized how much I've taken, you know, and how much I have, just kind of how selfish I was before. I realize now that even if somebody gives me something for free, if they teach me something or I learn something, is I always ask the individual, look, how can I be of service? What can I do? You know, how can I help you? And often or not, it's just by passing that forward, you know, pass that knowledge forward, teach somebody else, help others. And that's what I try to do, you know, which is the reason why I do the videos every day, which is the reason why I public speak, which is the reason why I try to help in every way, shape or form, whether it's coaching, whether it's online, whether it's just a text. Every morning, you know, in my prayer and meditation, I always ask, how can I be of service? You know, and I ask God, show me, you know, how can I be of service today? Who can I help? And I wanted to kind of share that because I think we live in a society today that, you know, we are takers. You know, we take everything that we can. You know, we want instant gratification, and often or not, we don't think about anybody else. You know, we're always thinking about ourselves. Not that there is anything wrong with that, but again, I always talk about the motivation. And I want you to ask, you know, truly be honest with yourself. You know, are you a giver or are you a taker? And here's, I'm going to throw something as well. Do you give too much? Because sometimes that can be a detriment as well, you know, giving too much of yourself and not having the boundaries to be able to say, okay, enough's enough, what about me? You know, and it's a tough one because it's about being able to find a bit of a balance between the two, where you can take knowledge from somebody and say, okay, now how can I pay that in return, and be able to kind of give enough back, but not so you're going to burn yourself out, you know, mentally, physically, you know, spiritually. You want to make sure that you're kind of finding that balance. So I think that with anything that I found, You know, whether you're a giver, whether you're a taker. Depending on your motivation, you can switch that to a positive, either way, you know. And so everything that I always try to kind of highlight, I want to also show you that there is a good to what we do, you know, because sometimes taking knowledge from somebody, but then if you're giving it back to somebody else, that's a great thing because you're passing it on. It's about being able to pass things forward. So if you're struggling with that, as sometimes I can, then I want you to know that it's okay, you know, for us to kind of toy with that sometimes. And I guess finding the balance between the two is where it's important, you know, is being able to find that balance around, you know, being a giver, but making sure that you're not giving too much or you're not giving your all, you know, that you are being boundaried and you're not just taking and not being of service. So I hope you've enjoyed the video. Can't get my words out today. I hope you've enjoyed the video. I hope you have an amazing day, evening, afternoon, wherever you are in the world. As you can tell, I'm getting it completely wrong today. It is Monday, so happy Monday wherever you are in the world. And as always, be amazing, be fantastic, and be absolutely phenomenal. You know, the world is our oyster. You know, we can do and we can be whatever and whoever we want. And you know, hopefully me sharing this guides you and helps you to keep pushing forward, that you are doing the right thing. And there is no right or wrong in life. It's about experience, and it's about your experience that's going to fit your life, you know. And that's what I always try to say to people, because you can't live mine and I can't live yours, you know. So I want you to live yours to the best of your ability. And I'll speak to you again very soon, and I'll see you tomorrow. Take care.